Okay. This is a new camera I'm trying, so I'm hoping that this is going to work. So this is our Unit 4 Savings Accounts Test Review. I'm going to go through these questions, answer them all, and you can use this as a resource on your test when you take it tomorrow, which is Friday. So we're going to start with number 1. You're going to have to excuse my really bad nails, guys. All right. So number 1, and it starts with a typo. It should not say Lydia's. It just should say Lydia. Lydia is depositing $250 in currency, $2.45 in coins, a check for $129.35, and a check for $300.51. What is the total deposit? So she's depositing all these amounts, and so she's just going to add them all together. All right, so this number, this number, this number, and that number, we're going to add them all together. So 250 plus $2.45 plus $129.35 plus 300.51. So we're just going to add all of those together. I'm going to pause. I'm going to do that on the calculator, and then I'm going to write the answer. Okay, so on my calculator, I got this big fraction. I know I've probably told you this before, but if you get a big fraction and we need money, then we're just going to hit that SD button right there. You might have one that says FD. That's in kind of the same area, but that, when you push that button right there, that's going to change to $682.31. So I'm going to write that, $682.31. Done. Okay. These numbers are kind of weird. So the next one, number 2, is down underneath here. All right. So Yanziel is depositing $325 in currency, $5.50 in coins, a check for $212.34, and a check for $1,348.95. What is the total deposit? This is exactly like number 1. So we're just going to take all of these amounts and we're going to add them together. So you have 325 plus 550, 5.50 plus 212.34 plus 1348.95 equals. So I just have all 4 of those numbers. I'm going to put them in my calculator. I'm going to put the answer. All right, so I got the answer. When I added all those numbers together, I got $1,891.79. Okay, number 3 is over here. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to number 3. Landon's account number is 9576147. So there's a number. Today is March 22nd, 2023. He wants to withdraw $642.13. Complete the savings withdrawal slip. Now, I will say, I did not give you very much space over here to write all of this, but we're going to do the best we can. All right, so let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 digits in this account number, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes. So that's good. I'm just going to write one number in each box. 9, 5, 7, 6, 1, 4, 7. So there's the account number. The dollars and cents is $642.13. So 642.13. The date is 3/22/23. The amount in words, okay, so that's going to be hard, but I'm going to write all these words here. 600. I got to sort of make them tiny. 42. But you don't have to write dollars because dollars is already there. So 642 and 13/100. All right. So I just wrote all the words out. 642 and I made my cents into a fraction, 13/100. All right, and then sign here. So that's going to be Landon. Landon's going to sign. So Landon, I'm going to forge your signature right here. Beautiful. Now you can put whatever signature you want on there. That's fine, as long as it looks like a signature. All right, so that's number 3. Moving on up to number 4. Okay. Caleb deposited $600 in a new savings account at Community Credit Union. No other deposits or withdrawals were made. After 3 years, the interest was computed at an annual interest rate of 3.25%. How much simple interest did his money earn? So, simple interest is the key phrase here. So that was the first type of interest that we learned about in this unit, simple interest. And there's a formula. You can look through your notebook and find it, but it is the principal times the rate times the time. Okay, so the principal is 600 times, okay, the rate is 3.25%, but we don't want to write it in percent. We want to write it in a decimal. So we can either take that decimal and move it over 2 spots, or we can take 3.25 and divide by 100 in our calculator, and that 3.25 is going to turn into 0.0325. Because the decimal point was right here, and I moved over 2 spots to the left. So there's my rate, and then times the time. And remember, the time is in years. So this is already in years, 3 years. So I'm just going to put 3. And now I'm going to multiply 600. I don't need to pause, I don't think. 600 times 0.0325. times 3 equals, and I get a fraction again right there, 117/2. So I'm going to hit my SD button and get 58.5. So if I want to put 58.5 in money, then it's going to be $58.50. I'm going to put that 0 there so it looks like dollars and cents. All right, so that was number 4. Now we're going to number 5. All right, Logan. Logan deposited $540 in a new savings account at Public National Bank. No other deposits or withdrawals were made. After 6 months, the interest was computed at an annual interest rate of 2%, not 12%. All right, so there's 6 months and there's 2%. So how much simple interest did his money earn? So again, we're doing simple interest, but this is different. This one is in months instead of years, so we're going to have to do something else. Okay, so our principal, which is 540, and our rate is 2%, but remember we have to put that in a decimal. So we have to move our decimal over 2 spaces, or take the 2 in your calculator, 2 divided by 100, and that's going to give us 0.02. And then our time. So instead of, we're not going to put 6 here, because if we put 6, that would mean 6 years. So we can't do that. We have to put that in a fraction. So it's 6 months out of 12. Because there's 12 months in a year. Because 6 months is really half of a year, right? So if I were to take 6, just to show you how that works, if I were to take 6 divided by 12, that's 1/2. It's hard to see that, right? Let's see. Right? So that's 6 months is a half of a year, so that's where that is. You could put half right there instead of 6/12. You could even put 0.5. If you wanted to put a decimal instead of a fraction, you could put 0.5 right there. Those are all the same value. But now I'm going to multiply them all together. 540 times 0.02 times, I'm just going to put 0.5 because I know 6/12 is 0.5. It's easier than doing a fraction. It's going to give me 27/5, which again, that doesn't look like money. Try to get that light off of there. So I'm going to hit the SD button. It's 5.4. That also doesn't look like money, but I can make it look like money. 5.4 is 5.40. So that's $5.40. All right. So that was number 5. Now we're going to go over to number 6. Omarion deposited $650 in a new savings account. The amount for $1 compounded daily the account earns after 10 years at 5.50% is 1.733. That's a whole lot of stuff. Calculate the compound interest earned after 10 years. All right, so this is where we had to use that table, okay? But instead of using a table, they just went ahead and gave us the number that we would have found in the table. So instead of looking down for 10 and then going across to 5.5 and finding the number and circling it, they just went ahead and gave it to us. All right, so we don't need this number in our formula. We don't need this number in our formula, but we do need this number. And then we also need the 10 for 10 years. All right. Okay, so we are going to do 650 times 1.733, because that's that number that we multiply by, and then the time times 10 for 10 years. All right, that's not going to give us our answer, but that's going to give us the next step. So when I multiply 650 times 1.733 times 10, I get this crazy fraction. Whoopsie. All right, and so I'm going to hit the SD button, and I get 11,264.5. So let me write that in money terms. All right, so I get 11,264.50. That's over double, right? No, that's not quite double. That's almost double your money. That's pretty good. So after 10 years, his money almost doubled. But it didn't ask for the total. It asked for the interest, which means how much did the bank add? So Omarion put 650 in, and after 10 years, he had this total. But that's not how much the bank gave him. They gave him some money to add to his 650. And so what I have to do is to find your compound interest, if you remember, is you take your amount, 11,264.50, and you subtract the original amount, which is 650, and that's going to give you the amount of interest. And something is wrong. Uh-oh. He put in 650 and he came out with 11,000. Yeah, something's not right. I made a mistake and I've got to fix that. 1 second. So I'm going from memory, and I realized that this number does not make sense, because when I put that comma in there, I'm thinking there's no way that $650 is going to turn into $11,000. So that's more than double. That's like a lot more. So I went back to my notes to see what I had made a mistake on. In this table, the time is already factored in. On our table, we don't put the time in because the time is already part of that number, right? And so we're not multiplying by 10. We're just multiplying by the 1.733. So this number is wrong, and I am sorry that we have to change that. So it should just be 1 decimal place over, but so in my mind, I was looking at it and thinking that it was this number, 1126.45. That's what I thought I was looking at, because I was like, okay, that's almost double, right? So that makes a lot more sense. My mind did not compute this right here. So we are not going to use the 10 years. We're just going to use the initial amount and the number from the table. And I'm sorry, that was wrong for me. So that's his total. Now we got to find the interest. So we're going to take the total, 1126.45, and then we're going to subtract 650. When I did this and I came up with like $10,000 still. I knew that the bank had not given him $10,000 interest on $650. So, but I fixed it. 1126.45 minus 650 gives me 476.45. Oh, that looks much better. So what that means is that Omarion, sorry Omarion, we were trying to give you almost $12,000, but bank error. So we had to fix that. So that means Omarion put $650 in, and the bank added $476.45 to that over 10 years. And then he ended up with a total of $1,126. So, sorry about that. And of course, I wrote in pen. So there you go. It's always going to be that way, right? Now I'm going to fold this. Give me 1 second. Let me see. This is going to help me. I have to try to get this in the camera here. Okay. All right. We've only got 2 more to go. All right. Number 7. Olivia deposited $1,350 in a new savings account. So there's that. That earns 2.25% interest compounded quarterly. So that's going to be a number. Quarterly is going to be 4. 2.25, we're going to have to change that to a decimal. She made no other deposits or withdrawals. What was the amount in the account at the end of 2 years? All right, and so this is going to be our compound interest formula that we just got finished doing. All right, so that formula is A equals P parentheses 1 plus R over M. Okay, so we got to figure out all these amounts. All right, so the amount is the amount that's in her account. So A is the amount, P is the principal, R is the rate, M is the, I can't remember what it's called, this quarterly is the number of compounds per year, and T equals the time in years. All right, so we don't know what the amount is. The principal in this case is the money that we started with, so that's $1,350. The rate is, it's not 2.25, we have to change that to a decimal. Okay, so it's going to be 0.0225. The number of compounds quarterly, that's going to be 4, so M equals 4. And the time in years, that's right here, 2 years. All right, so I'm going to replace all of these letters with these numbers. So the amount I have is $1,350. 1 is always 1. The rate 0.0225. M is 4. And then up here is going to be 4 times 2, which is 8. So here's how we do that in the calculator. All right, I'm going to put this up here. Just want to make sure that we know how to put this in the calculator right. All right, so I'm going to do 1,350. Now I need parentheses, and I need my 1 plus. Now I need a fraction. I need this fraction right here. So I'm going to hit this fraction button. You probably can't see it. I'm going to hit that fraction button right there. At the top is 0.0225. I need to go to the bottom, so I'm going to hit this bottom button, and on the bottom is 4. Now see where that cursor is? I have to get that cursor out here so I can have another big parentheses. If I hit parentheses, I'm just going to show you. If I hit that, I don't know if you can see that. If I hit that parentheses button right now, that's going to be messed up. See how that parentheses is down here on the bottom? I don't want that, so I'm going to delete. All right, let me move this up a little. I'm going to go over to the right. So now my cursor is out here. So when I put my parentheses, now it's a big parentheses on both sides. All right, now if I look here, I need this exponent, this little baby number right here at the top. So I can't put 4 times 2 now because that'll be out to the side. So I need to make it the exponent. That's right here, that X with the box. I'm going to hit that and it's going to put my cursor up to the exponent. And I could put 4, whoopsie, not 44, 4 times 2. So now I have my whole problem. I hit equals, and there's my number, 1411.90. That 5 is going to turn to a 6 because this 9 makes this 5 jump up to a 6. So my amount is 1411.96. But it did not ask me for the amount. It asked me for the interest. Okay, so this question means, that Olivia put $1,350 in the bank. Whoopsie. After 2 years, her amount was now $1,411.96. But that's not what the bank gave her. That's not her interest. We have to find the interest by taking the principal. Taking the amount, 1411.96, and subtracting the principal, 1350. That's going to tell us how much the bank gave her. So 1411.96 minus 1350 equals $61.96. So that is the amount that the bank added to her amount. All right. Last one. Jaden deposited $2,250 in a new savings account that earns 3.25%, so we're going to have to change that to a decimal. And the interest is compounded monthly. So monthly is going to be 12 times a year, right? He made no other deposits or withdrawals. What was the amount in the account at the end of 3 years? So we need a bunch of numbers, right? And so my amount, I don't know what that amount is. All right, so let's see. My principal is 2250. That's what I started with. That's my principal. My rate is not 3.25, but I have to move that decimal over, so it's 0.0325. My M, the number of times compounded, is 12 because it's 12 times in a year, every month for a year. And my time is 3 because it's 3 years. All right, so let's do this same formula here. My principal is 2250, parentheses 1 plus fraction. My rate is 0.0325. On the bottom is 12, and my exponent up here is 12 times 3. Or you could just go ahead and put 36 if you already know that 12 times 3 is 36. Whatever you want to do in your calculator. So let's put that in the calculator. Oh, try not to move this too much. All right, so I'm just going to do 2250, and then my parentheses, and then my 1 plus, and now I need a fraction. So I'm going to hit the fraction button right here. On the top is 0.0325. Now I need to put my cursor, so I hit the down arrow. 12 on the bottom. Now again, my cursor is right here, so I need to push over to the right here 1 time so that the cursor is out here. So it's a nice big parentheses there. And now I need this up here for the exponent. So my cursor is at the regular place. I need it to be up here in the exponent. So that button right there will take me to the exponent. 12 times 3. And then I hit equals. So my amount is 2480. That 09, the 8 after it is going to turn the 9 into a 10. So 0.10. Okay, but that's not the answer. Remember, that's the amount that's in the bank. So Jaden put $22.50 in there, and he came out with $24.80. But that's not the interest. That was his balance. In order to get the interest, I take the 2480.10. I cleared it out, and I subtract the initial 22.50. 2480.10 minus 22.50 equals $230.10. So that's what the bank added to the 22.50 to make him have 2480.10. So this is the interest. This is the interest. That's your actual answer. Okay. So that's it. Good luck on the test. I will see you on Friday. Have this ready so that you can use it on your test, and I will bring us some donuts. See you then.